Tonight on KION News Channel 5, big changes on the way in Santa Cruz to tackle heavy traffic and bike safety, why officials say people need to take action right now. And a violent weekend in Salinas as police investigate 4 shootings within just hours of each other. And finally, community in mourning tonight. An apartment fire in Salinas leaves 1 person dead. How survivors managed to escape the flames. KION News Channel 5 starts right now.
In high definition, this is your Central Coast news source.
It was the first deadly fire of the year in Salinas. Good evening. Thank you for joining us and watching KION News Channel 5. I'm Jake Reiner. A 20-year-old is dead after firefighters say he was trapped inside the apartment he shared with his brothers.
Within just moments, numerous 911 calls were coming in reporting not only smoke, but fire coming out of the apartment.
By the time all the firefighters in the city arrived at the apartment on Harvest Street, the fast-moving fire had already claimed a life.
We know the origin, the general area in which the fire started, which was in the living room of the apartment.
Firefighters say the 20-year-old had a mental disability and couldn't speak. He was trapped in the kitchen. His 2 brothers tried to help, but couldn't get to him, so they jumped out of the second-story window. One of the teens fractured his leg.
Tragically, on average, it's about 1 civilian fatality per year in the city of Salinas.
This hit home for a woman who says she knew the victim.
I feel very heartbroken. It's something affecting me right now, and I have the image of his face going through my mind.
And for firefighters, this isn't just another day.
We have a number of very young firefighters on the job. Some of them are still on probation, just graduating the academy a few months ago. We want to make sure that they're able to contribute to the organization and stay both mentally and physically healthy.
Right now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Firefighters tell us management and the property owners made hotel arrangements for not only the victim's family, but for other families who had water damage to their apartments. Before the fire this morning, it was a violent night in Salinas. Police are investigating 4 shootings that happened within hours of each other last night. Now let's take you to a map to show you where they all were, spread out across the city. All told, 4 men were injured, but police say they're expected to survive. So the first one happened at around 8:30 at the intersection of Natividad Road and Chaparral Street. Police say a 21-year-old Hispanic man was driving along Natividad when someone pulled up and shot him twice. The other one on this map happened at a local bar on Williams Road at 1:30 this morning. Police say a 22-year-old man flagged down an officer because he says he was shot twice in the leg. Investigators say that one was gang-related. Now we have 2 more Salinas shootings to get to. On the left side of your screen, we have the 1300 block of Cherokee Drive. Police say a 26-year-old Hispanic man was walking when a white suspect riding a bike fired several shots at him. He is expected to recover. And finally, outside the Fox Theater on South Main Street, investigators say a fight broke out a little after 2 a.m. and shots were fired into the air. Nobody was hit, but police say they later found the victim who was hurt from that fight. The California Highway Patrol is mourning the loss of one of their police canines. Rocky was 5 years old and served in Monterey County with Officer Robert Padilla. He came to the Central Coast in 2013 from the Netherlands and was widely praised for his work, most notably sniffing out 88 pounds of cocaine for what CHP says was his largest drug bust ever. Well, like many cities, Santa Cruz deals with heavy traffic and lots of bikes sharing the roads with cars. But now it's trying to do something about it through a series of workshops. News Channel 5's Erica Mahoney provides us a roadmap.
And if we could just flatten out Santa Cruz, it'd help too. But
in Santa Cruz, Erica Mahoney, News Channel 5.
Yeah, just flatten Santa Cruz out. That's the idea. That's the be-all, end-all. There are still 3 more workshops, though, if you didn't make that one. So head to our website, KIONrightnow.com, for the times and dates, as well as a link to a virtual workshop the city has set up. All right, finding hope in East Salinas on the blacktops of Closter Park. A basketball tournament this morning shed light on the positive work a local basketball academy is doing year-round. The motto of Gill Basketball Academy is hooping for change. 60% of the young players are on scholarships, but otherwise the academy is very affordable, all to make sure everyone has the chance to play. The executive director says the best part is seeing kids learn and grow with the support of positive role models. One of those players is Danny Martinez. He lost his mom at the age of 10 and moved to Salinas to live with his aunt.
If it wasn't for basketball, I really don't know where I would be. So I thank Coach Gill for them letting me in the academy.
Danny's been an incredible story. When we heard his life story, it brought us to tears, knowing that this kid is in our community, and yet without the foundation that some of us have. So we decided to that's exactly why we do our academy, to bring in kids like that and to impact them in a positive way.
Great story. Now Danny is focusing on getting a full ride to Stanford to play basketball. He says education is a priority for him. The academy is also raising money to take some of those players to Italy next year to give them a new perspective on the world. Let's turn our attention now to a warning from the Santa Cruz County District Attorney about a phone scam. The DA says people are calling seniors posing as grandchildren in distress. Some claim they need money to be bailed out of jail or come up with a scenario where they lost their luggage and money. The DA says victims are asked to write them between $800 to $5,000, although I suspect that grandparents should probably learn who their grandkids are. That would be the best way to solve that problem. All right. Tomorrow, there will be a celebration of life for Maddie Middleton. She was the 8-year-old who was murdered and discovered in a dumpster last month. Maddie's family, with support from the Tannery Arts Center and the Santa Cruz Warriors, are coordinating the event. It'll be held at the Kaiser Permanente Arena at 3 in the afternoon in Santa Cruz. Doors open at 1:30 p.m. And if you head to our website, KIONRightNow.com, we have the event details there under the Maddie tab. We now have an update on wildfires for you. More than 259 wildfires are burning nationwide, and with nearly 400,000 acres smoldering in Washington state, the flames are so severe, President Obama has approved an emergency declaration to get more help.
It's so sad because I love where we live. I love the grandeur, the beauty, the wildlife.
The situation is so desperate, the state is now asking volunteers to help dig fire lines. And at the same time, the state is also mourning the deaths of 3 firefighters who died earlier this week. For family of the victims, they say they're in shock.
I heard on the news first about the 3 firefighters being killed in a fire up in Twisp, and I had a gut feeling.
It happened last week in the small town of Twisp. The firefighters' vehicle crashed and flames engulfed them. 4 others were also hurt, 1 critically. All right, let's head back closer to home now. Crews are still trying to get a handle on 17 wildfires torching California. Now, on the left side of your screen, you're going to see the Rough Fire, currently the largest one, burning almost 50,000 acres, only 3% contained. That one's near Fresno. On the right, we have the Cuesta Fire burning north of San Luis Obispo. That one is at 3,500 acres, but it's 70% contained. Across the state, a shortage of printing paper has led to several counties limiting the copies of birth, death, and marriage certificates. Time to call Dunder Mifflin, I think. The paper used for the certificates is printed in a process known as intaglio. It's a raised ink, and it's impossible to counterfeit. The Ohio company that produces the special paper closed its doors in June.
All of a sudden, we had an order for 15,000 or 20,000 copies. We called for our order. There was no phone, no answer, or nothing. So they shut the doors, and they were just out of business.
That guy's got a great accent. California has since approved another vendor that uses the intaglio process. They're in Canada, but until that paper arrives in November, certificate rationing will continue. First water, now paper. What is next? Oh boy, California. All right, so let's head to the Capitol, though. This is some good news. People scrambled to find tokens of hidden cash across Sacramento. Dozens of stuffed plastic cows and Hello Kitty prizes worth thousands were scattered. It was all part of a multi-millionaire's viral project to share money for people in need across the world.
I've been very blessed financially, so it's just rewarding on so many levels.
We're going to match this $50 and give $100 to the TLCS Clubhouse.
I'm going to pay it forward, buy someone something to eat. We decided we would split anything we found 3 ways, and we each need to take a gas in our cars, so we're really grateful.
Probably put it in her baby bank, save it when she grows up.
Use it towards school.
All fantastic ideas. This isn't the first time the cash hunt has come to the area. Jason Boozy has also hidden cash for college students at Sacramento State and on the Capitol grounds. Coming up next on KION News Channel 5, wine lovers, raise your glasses high. Details on how a change in grape harvest this year could make your next glass of wine a little sweeter. When we return, stay with us.